Welcome to your daily episode of Kick-Ass here at Fitpreneurs. And as you can see, I have the pup with me today. He's been barking like a mad one today. Anyway, super excited to be here on the Friday show with me. As always, if you are watching live, go and post in the comments. And let me know where you're from, what you're up to this weekend. Let's make this... as always, an interactive, fun environment. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about 6 reasons you aren't adequately paid for your talents. Okay, 6 reasons why you're not adequately paid for your talents. Who wants to be paid more? Okay, paid more. Maybe you've been in the industry for a while and you've got all of this knowledge. Hey Morgan, maybe you've got all of this knowledge and you've been educating yourself for all of this time. And it's like, wow, like even despite all of that effort and study and putting all of that time in, like why am I still not where I want to be? I want to get to that next level. And that can be hugely frustrating for so many people. Now, if you're watching this, hit the button which says get updates so that you don't miss one of the live shows. And as normal, head to fitpreneurs.com/kickass and you can get access to the full playlist over on YouTube of the new show. So excited. And guys, I really want to make this, I just want to reiterate on this, I want to make this live show fun, interactive. So just please do post comments and just post opinions and thoughts on the stuff that you hear during the episode. It really does help me have a better experience to also help you as I'm reading those comments and as you guys are giving me suggestions and thoughts and insights, because you're in it, right? You're in amongst what's going on right now and the changes and your business growth wherever you are. The reason why this episode is happening today was I was having a conversation yesterday with a really passionate, awesome trainer who's just transited out of wanting to work online with Just Nutrition. And he was currently working in a job, and he said that one of the big things was just not feeling like he was paid adequately for his talents, and so this brings up something which I went through for a long time. And there's a few different reasons why it happens, and sometimes we're not aware of it. So hopefully in this episode, it will bring to your attention a few things that maybe you have not already been aware of. And awareness is a fantastic thing, very, very important, because at the end of the day, you guys watching, you've got to generate money so that you can reinvest in the business and you can start having the life that you want, so that you can enjoy, whether it's experiences, whether it's a new home, getting the things that really you want to elevate your life to the next level. Morgan says, I've got so many questions, I don't even know where to start. Just at the moment, I feel a bit of fear. What if people don't sign up to my gym, etc.? Yeah, and that comes from, honestly, a few things, which is just thoughts, for example. So we have to flip those around and ask them, are they true? Is that true that people aren't going to sign up? No, it's that you don't have a clear strategy, okay? And also, if you did, then you would be confident around it, because that fear comes up when you're not clear around the strategy and whether it's going to work or not. Keep the comments coming during the show. I would love to hear from you, where you're from, what you're up to, what part of the world are you in, but more importantly, what is business like for you right now? Where are you at in the life cycle of your business, and where do you want to be? Where do you want to get to? As always, head to fitpreneurs.com. Check out the blogs, the podcast, the video series on YouTube, all of that. Make sure you get subscribed. Make sure you get updates. And my intent of these shows is just to give you that daily motivation, that daily just keeping that mind in the right place to be able to move forward. And if you feel like it's time to get accountability, support, have your ass kicked at an elite level, then definitely head to fitpreneurs.com/breakthrough, where you can apply for your breakthrough call. Now, what is this little guy doing? I have no idea. Let's turn him around. Buddha, what are you up to? What are you up to? You seem like you want to dive someone. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to go? No, we'll see. Let's put him down. All right, so we're talking today about reasons why you aren't adequately paid for your talents, okay? And here's the truth. You guys have got talents, okay? First of all, you spent a lot of time in certification and getting qualified, and most likely you've also delved into some other deeper areas to go into mastery of your skill set. You know, for some of you watching, you've got your fitness, you've got your nutrition, you may have done some additional mindset training, and you're spending time, educating yourselves. So you need to be paid for that. You need to be paid what you're worth. And one of the mentors that taught me once said, you are literally paid what you're worth right now. So if you're charging X, you're paid what you're worth. You're paid what your self-worth is. And that's number one, which is your self-worth determines how much you charge. Okay, so oftentimes we have certain beliefs around money. We have maybe a restriction of money ourselves. And so what we do is we tend to project that on other people. Okay, so our own financial beliefs. If we break it down quite simply, you can see why this would happen, right? So there you are, maybe you got somebody in front of you, and then you've got this maybe financial restriction or this financial block that's going on, and then because of that and how you feel about that affects and so this is your own belief system, that affects what you want to speak about your services and how much you charge for your services. So understand your own self-worth and your own confidence hugely plays an impact on whether you're paid what you're worth right now, which is why it's really important for some people. Just a business program doesn't help them grow. Okay, for some of you watching right now, you may have gone into some business programs in the past that maybe you didn't get to where you needed to be. The first thing I would say is have an honest assessment around why that didn't work out. Okay. And is it because of the strategy or is it because of the mindset? And that's why the mindset component for many people is such an important synergy between two, because you've got the strategy and then you've got the mindset, and when you change beliefs and then the strategy comes, then you can get the ascension. So self-worth, self-confidence, and building that and continuing to build on that's going to help you scale your pricing up. And yes, of course, you need to add your skill sets. But what happens is a lot of the time people improve their skill sets, but they don't increase their prices or packages, right? So they continue to do what they were taught by, the training company that spoke to them. So have a write down and think about in your own specific situation, could it be my self-worth and my confidence right now that is holding me back? Is it keeping me comfortable? And just remember, and I had a conversation about this yesterday, which is if your income has stayed the same for multiple months, most likely you're comfortable. Okay, so you might have a desire to do something bigger and better and achieve, but if it's stayed the same for a number of months, then most likely you need to kick up the ass. And without accountability and some consequences, it's probably going to stay the same if you're going to carry on doing exactly the same thing. Very, very key. The number two, so reasons why you aren't adequately paid for your talents is fear of losing the sale. So what you do is you have an opportunity to up your prices, and maybe you've been told, or maybe you see one of my videos where it's like, hey, up your prices. But then when you have a constriction of leads, and then you've got that person that's in front of you, you now have a choice, right? You have a choice to put out a new price and change your price points and position yourself differently, or you have a choice to stay the same and carry on doing what you've been doing. And because you are maybe in a financial position or you don't have that many leads coming in, you now make the choice to play safe. Okay, you make the choice to play safe. So understand that all of these components actually blend together. Okay, very important. Again, if you're finding these videos useful and you're enjoying the Kick-Ass show here at Fitpreneurs, please do share the videos, hit the updates button, and make sure that you are also spreading the joy and the mindset shifts that you learn to maybe other trainers in the industry who also need to get the same adjustments in growth. You will find me talking about mindset in pretty much every episode of the daily Kick-Ass show. Why? Because I'm a firm believer that it's what's changed my whole life and my whole business, and it's what's having a profound impact on my clients at Fitpreneurs. So very important that we tackle this on a consistent basis, and my intent is to help you guys move forward in a bigger and better way. post into the comments, please. I will love carry on doing these shows if you guys are interactive and you're sharing your thoughts. And Morgan says, I have a strategy some days, but I feel like I'm on top of the world, and next day I feel like a loser. But most of the time I'm confident. And welcome to life, the ups and downs of life and being an entrepreneur. Now, you can reduce that sometimes by having a better, a more consistent morning and evening routine. But understand that you're not alone. Very important. So number one is self-worth and self-confidence. Number two is fear of losing the sale. And number three is fitting into the majority, just fitting into what the rest of the industry is doing. Okay, I'm charging blocks, I'm charging sessions. This is, how much are you charging? Okay, I'm going to charge a similar. I'm going to start undercutting. Undercutting at price points is probably one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. If you go into this industry and you say and you start to adopt the philosophy of, well, this trainer is charging this, and then I'm going to go less. Trust me, that's the worst decision you can ever make in a business, okay? Because you go into a cycle of devaluing yourself, okay? And we want to get into a momentum of building upon and ascending your price points. So I have a client who's in my mastermind who just came in from, he's from Canada but now lives in Bali. Sorry, he's from Canada but is spending time in Bali with his family. And, he came into one of our programs and started offering his nutrition 12-week program at $1,500, and he's price scaled now an extra $500 in the matter of a week or two. All right, so most people don't make those ascension jumps in years, or sometimes ever. People don't make those ascension jumps, but when you have the right mindset, when you have the right support, and when you're held accountable to go and get momentum, then a lot can start to change, and your confidence starts to compound on itself. Very, very key. So we've got self-worth and self-confidence. We've got fear of losing the sale, fitting into the majority. What is that? What is everyone else doing? And so that again, remember, being a fitpreneur. And I keep on referring to this the picture behind me, but you have to, if you want to be a fitpreneur, right, and being a fitness entrepreneur, then you can't adopt the same philosophies as the majority of the industry. Okay, having a hobby, which is just like training people, getting paycheck to paycheck, just doing what everyone else is doing on social media, just charging the same and having the same business structure, because you have to get that separation in that line between a personal trainer, okay, and a fitness business owner. They're two radically different things, okay? And when you start to adopt the philosophies of a fitpreneur and you start to embody that hero, then things can start to shift. But you got to be willing to take steps that other people aren't willing to take. Very, very key. As always, this is Simon Lovell from Fitpreneurs here in the studio in San Diego. We are actually going to be changing up the studio. I did mention moving up to Del Mar, which is in San Diego. And we're moving to the True Transformation Ranch, which is going to be amazing. So all of this is going to change, and you'll be seeing stuff outside, and it's just going to be awesome. So I'm loving how this is evolving, and you're seeing the journey as I'm evolving at Fitpreneurs, and the company's evolving, which is great. And you'll see more case studies and interviews coming up with clients and all of those things for you to be able to understand that it's not just. You can achieve the same results too if you put your mind to it. Once you start to change those beliefs, and you start to focus on what you want and start to get a proper commitment. And if you haven't watched the video I posted yesterday about the guy who I phoned up yesterday, check out the feed on Fitpreneurs, facebook.com/Fitpreneurs, around what it takes to be successful. So today we're talking about 6 reasons that you aren't adequately paid for your talents. If you're watching this right now, listen, I want you to be paid what you're worth. I want you to be, happy that, you're not going into a situation going, wow, I'll just taken on a client, and now, I feel like I'm worth more. Always a very frustrating place to be in. And understand that all of that increase in your prices and your value, and actually starting to match the talents that you have with the price that you're paid, comes from this. Okay, it really comes from this. It's part strategy, but the majority of it comes from your mind, and that evolves over time. the next thing is lack of sales ability. So if we look at the previous one, which is fitting into the majority, if you're in a position, for example, where you're talking to someone and then you have that choice, which is what I was talking about earlier, you can go this way or you can go that way, then your sales skills, your sales mastery in that is going to give you the confidence to be able to tackle objections or handle those things. So if you haven't mastered sales, and we have a great process called the transformation selling system at Fitpreneurs, where it makes it non-salesy and it feels great to be able to enroll clients at a premium. When you have that strategy, and I'll be honest, most trainers and most people in the industry don't have that. They don't want to master that skill set. But it's the number one most important thing besides mindset, because it's the revenue that you need to bring in to grow the company. So you might have a bunch of leads coming in, but if you can't enroll those clients and you've got that lack of self-worth, and you may get a ton of leads in, but at the price point you're offering at, is it matching, and can you even get to your lifestyle goal based on what you're charging and how your business is leveraged? That's the truth, and that's the question I would be asking if I'm chatting to someone about helping them exponentially grow their business. So you have to look at your lack of sales ability with being charged and being paid what you're worth for your talents. Because if you don't have that confidence in selling, then you're not going to make a different choice in a conversation with someone. The next one is understanding the true value of what you do. Understanding the true value of what you do, because maybe you think to yourself in your brain, it's like, well, I'm just offering some sessions here. I'm just offering some fitness sessions here. And so you start to create that belief and comparison with everyone else, instead of really comprehending the impact of what happens when you bring on a client. So we might bring on someone to Fitpreneurs, and we might have someone invest in one of our coaching programs. And they're not low cost. They're not a few hundred or couple $1,000s. That is a sizable investment. But when the client implements the strategies, and we teach to mindset, and then we teach advanced sales strategies and marketing strategies, and someone goes from 1,000 to 10,000 a month, or 5,000 to 8,000, or 10,000 to 15,000, whatever the jumps are, and the jumps are really big, then what happens is that the truth is that when that happens, the value over the course of a month, let alone the course of a year, is absolutely huge. So you really have to understand, what's the value that I'm offering? What is that value beyond the time? What's the value beyond the time? What's the impact on their life? So if someone comes into one of our programs, and yes, we help them generate more revenue, but they've now quit their job. They've now moved out of the house that they wanted into a new environment because their kids are now going to be in a safer place. If we've now helped someone end relationships, which we've done now because of the quality of the coaching that we have, and we start to actually shift their actual life, beyond just the money, beyond the money part of it. What's the value of that? It's way beyond the cost of the investment for the program, because you're helping someone get trajectory in life. Of course, but everyone has different needs too. Some people want to make a quick return on investment. Some people want to get, if I pay X, I want to get X in return. But for other people, everyone has different needs and wants and desires in their life. So when you're charging little for that, and when you're undervaluing your services, also another thing too is people don't value it so much, and people don't have skin in the game. You've got to have skin in the game, and I've always invested a premium in myself because I want to hire the best. I don't want to go for low end options. Why? Because when I look for the best, I know that I'm going to jump myself up to a much higher level faster, and I want to be up there, and I want to be growing and one step ahead of everyone. So I'm not going to go for the lowest, cheapest options. Even if they're presented to me, they're not going to be on my radar because I start to even doubt them. So there's a lot of people out there you have to understand that you're in front of, that when you're offering low cost services sometimes, then they're not going to value them as much. Another thing we have to do is shift away from selling time to selling outcomes, and I've talked to that before. If you haven't checked out previous episodes of the Fitpreneurs, or my philosophies around that, then check out the YouTube channels. Also, you may want to check out the webinar, fitpreneurs.com/triple. if you're looking to triple, quadruple your revenue, and that's important to you, there's a whole hour-long training on that with the formula breakdown. Really, really key, guys. So we're talking about today 6 reasons you aren't adequately paid for your talents. Welcome, Stefan. Welcome to all of you joining. I would love your thoughts on this wonderful, well, actually, I would say wonderful, but the weather is pretty diabolical today in San Diego. Yes, past few days it's been storming, and I also managed to take a small break down to the beach, but today, not so great. What are you up to this weekend? Post into the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Are you finding the content useful? What else would you like to hear about and learn about on Kick-Ass, the Fitpreneurs show here on Facebook and then over on YouTube? Remember, check out the playlist if you've got previous episodes to check out over at fitpreneurs.com. Just type in fitpreneurs.com/kickass and you will be redirected to the playlist on YouTube. And definitely subscribe to that. Make sure that you're getting all of the different updates. I am going into content overdrive this past week or so, and it's always a pleasure to serve you guys moving forward. Now, if you are in the junction of your business where you know that you want to get help, you want to get exponential growth and accountability to really help shift not just your business, not just your revenue and your impact helping people, but you also want to change your life. You want to be a different level of leader. Make this decision, okay? Head to fitpreneurs.com/breakthrough, fill out the application and jump on a call with one of my team, and they'll find out where you are now, where you want to be, and what is actually stopping you from getting to the next level, specifically for you. Now, I'll be honest with you, these conversations are not easy. They're raw, they're honest. We're going to call you out, we're going to make suggestions, and you will know by the end of that call and have clarity around why you're not charging what you're worth, the best route for you moving forward, and you know, if it's a fit, we have a list of a big list of criteria now for the programs because it has to be a fit for someone to come into the Fitpreneurs environment. You've got to be willing to you've got to be willing to really invest in yourself. You've got to be willing to practice self-care. You've got to be willing to do things like video. You've got to be willing to master sales. You've got to be willing to implement systems. We have a whole list of things. And if you match those things, then it may be a good fit for you to come into one of the programs, be it the Mastermind, Nutrition Mastery, FitPro Mastery, or Ultimate Freedom. We have these different coaching programs, which may be a great fit for you right now in the timeline of your business. So we've talked about 6 reasons that you aren't adequately paid for your talents. And so we've talked about self-worth and confidence. That is the number one, okay? Fear of losing the sale. Fitting into the majority. Are you just fitting into what everyone else is doing? Understanding your true value of what you do, okay? Lack of sales ability. And the final one is this, which is your comfort zone. You do what's safe. Okay, most people do what is safe. So when you're not adequately paid for your talents, it's because you're stuck well within your comfort zone. And this is the same thing that you talk to your clients about, and you get them to stretch themselves outside of their comfort zone. And so you have to have the awareness to go, do you know what, Simon? I'm not paid for my talents. I'm not adequately paid for all of the time that I've invested so far. And when it comes down to it, I'm comfortable. The question is, and this is the question, what needs to happen for you to get out of your comfort zone? Okay, what needs to happen? Where do you really want to be? What do you really want? Okay, some people really open up when I ask them that question. What do you really want? And are you committed to getting there? Write down, get specific. What do you really want? How much do you want to be making a year, a month, a week? How many people do you want to be helping? Everyone watching this, you are in a current place, because I am too. Okay, you're in a current place of your business, in your life, and then there's a place that you want to be at. Okay, there's a place that you want to go to. There's a place that you see the vision of it, and hopefully you have at least some kind of vision of where you want to be. The question is, does your business model support you getting there? Does your level of action support you getting there? Do you have the accountability and support to get you there, or are you trying to figure it out on your own? Okay, because getting paid what you're worth and really elevating and getting exponential, fast, rapid growth is going to come from you working on this. It's going to come from you changing things up. But most people don't want to make changes. People love to stay comfortable because they hate change. because it means doing something different. And so we all sit back into that feeling of, okay, it's comfortable. That's why people procrastinate too. You know, well, I would rather do this. Hello, Kathleen, welcome. So listen, the reason I did this show today was just from that conversation yesterday. It just reminded me so much about how many of you out there are just like really underpaid for the talents that you have. And we need to make a change, okay? Because when you continue in that cycle, then you just go, you keep in frustration. You keep in that place of like not feeling so good. But you have to like write these things down and get really clear on this is it, okay? So post into the comments, out of those things, self-worth, out of fear of losing the sale, fitting into the majority, understanding your true value, lack of sales ability, and comfort zone. For you specifically, if you looked, and everyone on this training right now can always go to the next level, okay? What do you think it is for you that's stopping you having that growth? Okay, post into the comments below. Is it self-worth, confidence? Is it fear of losing the sale? Is it fitting into the majority of what other people are doing? Is it understanding your true value? Is it your lack of sales ability and sales mastery? Or is it that you're just comfortable right now? Okay, post into the comments below. I would love your feedback. And then what we can do is just for a few minutes is dive into a couple of minutes of Q&A if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up on this Friday morning here in San Diego. Wherever you are. I know I've got some followers and fans over in the UK. Would really love to make sure that this episode supports you moving forward so that you can start to achieve more, help more people, change more lives, because that's the reason why you've gone into this industry, to help people. Post into the comments below, and we can open up the discussion. So this is also a big reason why people stay in their jobs, you know, a big reason why people don't take that leap of faith, which is so important. It's why people just, you know, you see people in the same role year in, year out, and I'm sure that you've had this too, where you see some people and you're like you have so much more to give, right? Have you ever had that situation where you've seen someone and you know them and it's like, you know what they're currently doing, and it's like you have so many more talents than what you're currently doing. And so why do they stay there? When you're observing someone else and you're looking at someone else like that, it's a great exercise to do, because you can also start to see it in yourself. So when you see someone else and you're like, wow, you have so much more that you could be doing with yourself. The reason why they're not moving forward, and the reason why they're most of all continuing in that cycle, is because of their own self-belief, okay? And people like to stay comfortable, that's the truth. So wherever you are at, okay, we will have the next level. So don't think that the truth is, don't think that you're just alone, because it's common. But the truth is, you can get out of it and you can get away from it. But what has to happen is this: you have to have so much desire for where you want to be that you're willing to make changes. And if you don't, reassess your goals, reassess your targets. Very, very important. This is Simon Lovell from Fitpreneurs. Haley, welcome to the show. Thanks for everyone for joining, and have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode of Kick-Ass. Take it easy.